So season 18, we got a few new weapon perks that can roll with some guns, and I'm just curious on a few of them. So one of them is this UnderOver, so deals bonus damage to targets with overshields, deals small amount of bonus damage to combatant shields. Barriers have shields, so I'm just curious how this interacts with champions, barrier champions to be specific. So the BRAYTECH Werewolf for Festival of the Lost can roll with this, so let's test it out. First, we need a base. So here's a roll with no perks that really affect shields except armor-piercing rounds. We're going to take that off. Plus, for all these tests, we're going to have the major spec on, which deals an extra 7% damage to champs. So the base damage, we're looking at 2,477. So that's the base, okay? That's where we're going to judge everything else off of. So for a crit, it's 2,477. And then for body shots, what do we got for body shots here? There we go. So body shots, 1590. So that's it. So for a crit, it's 2,477. Body shot, 1590. All right. Now let's see how UnderOver does compared to this. Now for UnderOver roll, we got subsistence, but that's it. Like we don't have armor-piercing rounds with it, anything like that. That might change it. So we'd have high caliber rounds, but that just increases range. So we should be okay there. Still got the major spec on. So other than that, the numbers. The only difference from the base and this is UnderOver. So with UnderOver, we got a crit of 2,745 for a crit, and then a body shot of 1761. So 2745, 1761, that's a 10% increase. So I mean, that's not bad, I guess. So extra 10% from a roll. But there is other things that can roll into the kinetic slot for weapons that you might be more inclined to use besides this one. So 10%, again, there's worse things out there than getting an extra 10%. But let's take a look at some other rolls. For this gun specifically, I'm not going to talk about adaptive munitions. Doesn't roll in any kinetic slot that I'm aware of. So let's just use BRAYTECH Werewolf as an example. Some other rolls that this thing can come with that, you know, in my opinion, are better because it's a bigger number. So I think everyone else is going to share my opinion on this. So UnderOver, 10%. Let's take a look at some other things. So little side note, we can do let's take a look at armor-piercing rounds to start with. So armor-piercing rounds, you know, it can be an addition to any other roll. So that's not bad, but here we go. We got a base of 2599 with adaptive munitions. So what's that? That's an extra 5% off the base. Not bad. And that's an extra damage you can do to barriers or to stun barriers on any roll. So whether it's Vorpal or any of the other ones we're going to look at, just keep that in mind. Armor-piercing rounds can be an addition to that. So always keep an eye out for that. All right, but what else do we got? So this gun can roll with Osmosis. Osmosis can be useful. So if there's an arc burn, all the Grandmasters have burns, right? So in this example, there's an arc burn. So I'm going to use arc on Osmosis and see what that does. So without Osmosis activated, I'm just doing the regular damage, 1590 for a body shot. That was the base number, so that's fine. Activated Osmosis, throw my grenade. Now it's an arc gun all of a sudden. And now for a crit, 2949. So that's, you know, that's a much better increase than UnderOver for sure. And for what body shots with arc now is we're getting 1892. Real decent increase. So what's that worked out to? 19%. Why is it 19%? Like, that doesn't make sense. Is my math bad? Or is Bungie's math bad? Or is there some kind of variables in the mix that I don't know about? An arc burn is what? That's extra 20%? Or is it 25%? Okay. Something's wrong with the math there, but that's what it works out to, 19%. So Bungie, I guess you have different math than I have. Who knows? I guess I'm wrong. But still better than the 10% by far. So the next one this one can roll with is Vorpal. And by all means, I think we all know Vorpal is great, especially for primaries and especially with champions. So let's take a look. What does Vorpal give us on this gun? So with Vorpal, we get a base of 2973, and that's the highest so far. So, and then body shot, 1907. So 2973, 1907. So that's a good increase there. So that's an extra 20% that we're getting from Vorpal. So double what UnderOver gives us. So if you have Vorpal, Vorpal's the role you would want in this situation. So here we go. That's what it is. I am confused about the Osmosis thing, but other than that, so Vorpal. So if you can get a gun roll, I mean in any season, depending what the artifact mods are, but if you can get armor-piercing rounds and Vorpal and anything else that might increase the damage, then that's usually the best way to go. Now, keep in mind, yes, adaptive munitions is better. Adaptive munitions is the best. So a thing like, what is it, Doom of Chelius, you know, if you can get adaptive munitions and Frenzy, that's the best thing. You know, you can pop a barrier and a Grandmaster in a couple shots. So, for this one, anyways, for the BRAYTECH Werewolf, this is kind of what it looks like. So, UnderOver, you see at the bottom there, you get a flat out 10% increase to the taking out the barrier shields. So when you compare that to other things like, you know, keeping in mind armor-piercing rounds is just a flat out addition, I guess. So maybe just don't count this with the others, even though I have it listed. It can be an addition with any of these, but Osmosis, 19% for whatever reason. It should be 20%. And then Vorpal, 20% flat out. Now, obviously Vorpal's the best because UnderOver, that's just talking about shields. So Vorpal, though, that's 20% just straight out. That's 20% whether you're hitting the shield, whether you're not hitting the shield. Definitely still the way to go. So UnderOver, not... I mean, if you don't have the weapon for Vorpal or anything better, okay, UnderOver, it's better than nothing. 10% better than nothing. But other than that, Vorpal's probably the way I would go. So, it's good to know. Anyways, I really had no idea how this was going to turn out when I first started doing the test, but I'm happy I know for myself anyways. Other than that, hopefully your curiosity is cured just like mine is. There we go. I don't need this roll. I'll stick with Vorpal. I will look for armor-piercing rounds with it, though. Yeah.